What's up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in. If you've been watching my videos, then welcome back. Now, I wanted to hop on here real quick because, first of all, it's June 19th, so happy Juneteenth. I was on live with my buddy, Five Fish States and Slumlord, and we was talking for about an hour. He's pretty much asking me questions on my perspective on why I felt like Juneteenth was an unnecessary holiday for Americans, at least for right now. Now, I'm not saying it's bad. I was glad to see people out there, people in Chicago having a good time, you know. So if we can keep that energy up, we just might be all right. But I want to talk about this and explain to everybody. So the first thing I said on my Instagram was say bye to the 4th of July. Now, we all see this certain group of liberal Americans running around here, made up of our descent, canceling everything. You can get canceled for anything. So I got to watch myself posting this video, for one. But Juneteenth supposedly being Black Independence Day in America, which is not even what it is. On June 19th, there was a man in Texas who told the remaining slaves, black slaves, about the emancipation. So then they began to live their life free. July 4th, which is the Declaration of Independence, Independence Day for all Americans, even Black Americans, being right around the corner, and that certain group of liberal people made up of our descent, I feel like July 4th is susceptible to be canceled as a white man's holiday, and celebrating it would be racist. Now, that's kind of where everybody's coming from, but nobody in their right mind would ever think to celebrate January 1st, 1863, which was the day that Abraham Lincoln signed for the emancipation. Celebrating a white man in America would be wrong and racist. Now, nobody, I'd probably say 80% of Americans actually know what happened during racism, during slavery, my bad. You can blame that on the school systems. Nobody really knows that the first slave in America, slave owner in America, was a black man, Anthony Johnson. Look it up. He actually fought in court to own two black slaves, own their rights, so that he could own them as slaves. Now, if that doesn't tell you something about power back then, he fought in court, then I don't know. Now, slavery was a worldwide thing. Every race in the history of the world experienced slavery. It's just how things were. Now, people forget that around the time that America was founded was when all this is going on, but this is what it is. And it seems like Black Americans are the only ones that can't forget about slavery. Now, nobody wants to talk about the Moor history. Instead of the negative history, you have the Moors, who were intelligent, empowered black people, feared around the world, who brought numbers and letters and sequences to Spain. Instead, it's all negative. See, on today, they had a couple movies on BET, VH1. I watched them. They had Jackie Robinson up there, which I seen these before. They had Black Klansmen, Black KKK Klansmen, and another movie with Taraji Henson and another lady. I forget the name. They got hired in at NASA, and they ended up being a big deal over there during segregation times, where two black ladies working over there, and they ended up being a big deal in all of these movies. Very empowering movie. Very good movies, very emotional movies. And I think the emotional scene which is what will get everybody. The scenes where, you know, she was running all the way to the bathroom, and then she had to run back because she couldn't use the bathroom, or how the man was yelling them slurs to Jackie and he couldn't do anything. He went down there and broke the bat. Yeah, that's really good stuff, you know. But the message is pretty much just that the white man in America is your enemy, and it really had you thinking like that. That's how I felt after watching them. Because I live on both sides. It don't take me too long to get on either side. But I was, it'll really mess with your mind. And that stuff is serious. Because at a certain point, you feel like you have to defend yourself and always fight and be paranoid around the white man in a sense of judgment or hate. And that's not the case, man. That's not how it is. America is not systemically racist. If you don't believe me, look at what the Hispanics are doing. It's pretty much just how you get out there yourself as an individual. First thing that we have to do to fix the problem in this oppression problem in America is teach people about what really happened during slavery. Okay, so we can go from there, but what's going on right now seems like we're reversing back into before slavery, where we have all of these different movements and different flags, as if Black History Month wasn't enough or Gay Pride Month wasn't enough. We all have national flags being flown more than the American flag. And as if those three flags, the Gay Pride, BLM, now there's a Juneteenth flag, now the most random movement to ever pop up, Stop Asian Hate movement, which is said to be a top dog like BLM up there. It kind of seems like we're putting ourselves into a social dividance from people that think differently than you or have different views, don't want to be like you or are not you, is what it's getting to at this point. So we have this big dividance in America, and it's pretty much going against everything that America represents, which is equality and freedom for all. You have that lady talking about, I forget her name, talking about how she feels like terrified when she sees an American flag. How she feels like when she sees one, a white man in uniform is going to kill her, shoot her dead, no matter where she's at, in her basement, in her home, watching TV at 3 a.m., kill this white lady for no reason. So we gotten pretty bad, y'all. We have Macy Gray talking about how she wants to redesign the American flag to reflect on modern, on what's going on today in USA. And granted, by what the Juneteenth holiday was taken in place for being such a negative situation, I don't think that it would symbolize positivity. They had symbolized Juneteenth to be a representation of what happened during 2021 and 2020 with police on Black crime, violent deaths like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and it went so far back, Ahmaud Arbery, that they just named it a police on Black Death Day. I don't know what's going on with America right now, and it seems like that's the most negative thing to think about every year. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm glad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm glad everybody was having a good time, but while we're focused on that negativity and nothing's changing, nobody would ever focus on the innocent Black people who were killed due to senseless Black on Black crime. Now, we can start this movement for somebody to represent the Black community, such as George Floyd, who was a criminal. Look up his criminal records, and then you will see what I'm talking about. The man held a pregnant woman at gunpoint and robbed her. At the time of his death, he had bought snacks with counterfeit money and swallowed a 8-ball of methamphetamines laced with fentanyl so he wouldn't get caught because the police had showed up. And after the food, people don't really know that he was cooperating fine. He was already in the car and everything was going good. So he asked to be out of the car, And a lot of people are claiming that he ended up overdosing. Now, I'm not going to touch that subject too far. Okay, if you want to talk about it, you can ask me, and I'll talk to you about it. Or you could just look up the files, like I did. Now, representation being towards criminals or people that push destroying onto their people, which mainly happens in the black community. People like Megan Thee Stallion, who just posted the Thigh SHIT video where she was twerking in every respectable work uniform, disgracing it, that she could in a 2-minute video where she ended up using like 163 curse words in a 2-minute song. People like the baby who want to push, breaking down the black male, killing people, selling drugs in your community, Jay-Z and them. But you would never, but people ignore the fact that people are actually getting hurt in the black community with, innocent deaths like David Dorn. See, people don't mention David Dorn, who was killed innocently doing his job during the rioting and looting, and man ended up killing him, left him on the sidewalk bleeding to death while people just sat there and recorded. That's a way more harsh death than what George Floyd went through. And David Dorn was a innocent, respectable human being. Now, I'm not saying George Floyd deserved to die. That's not what I'm getting at. So if that's what you took from that, then you're listening to all the wrong things. Now, you can go from that man, David Dorn, who was an older man, he was a black man, to young lady Jocelyn Adams, a 7-year-old girl who was shot in the McDonald's drive-thru due to senseless black-on-black gun gang violence. And I honestly feel like by the way that the bullets were hitting the car, I feel like she was targeted. And I seen the videos that her father was posting due to all this gang violence. And man, it's just sad what's going on right now. So please, if we could get together in a respectable way, like Chicago did, to preach empowerment and knowledge on each other instead of all this hate, then we might just be fine. Think of the Moors. Try to think of the Moors more than you do the negativity in slavery. Because like I said, everybody else had experienced it and done forgot about it. Nobody wants to talk about the Holocaust. Was a horrible situation. People were literally being used as test subjects and being gassed, tortured. People don't want to talk about the Indians, so we just got to keep that stuff in mind, y'all, before we go crazy on what we think happened in America. We got to get that knowledge first. Understand the statistics so that we can actually make a change. Because with the high incarceration rate, incarceration rate, you know what I'm trying to say, in the black community, is not pretty much anything to celebrate about. With the black Americans making up 55% of violent crimes in America, where they only make up 13% of the population, it's kind of, it's not anything to celebrate about. Now, the high abortion rate, which is the highest of black American women, has a lot to contribute to that too, which is also not anything to celebrate about. So if we first gain the knowledge and then realize the statistics and then realize what's going on with the fathers being gone and the push of such negativity through entertainment, that being the CCP, which pretty much controls Hollywood and all entertainment around here, pushing what's going on, pretty much breaking down America from the inside out. And this takes a big part in that. So you could Google that, the CCP 100-year plan that they had just put in place. You could look that up too. And some of this stuff has got away. And it's serious because in order to take over certain countries, you have to break them down from the inside. America is the only one that experiencing all of these racial divides and the negative entertainment that's going on here. Nobody else is doing this, and like I said, nobody else really complains about slavery. So there's really so much to say here. I'm creeping up on 16 minutes, so I'm gonna cut it off here. If you made it this far, I obviously got your attention. Now, just wait until they figure out Trump had a lot to do with Juneteenth becoming a national holiday. If you made it this far, I obviously got your attention. You can, disagree with me or whatever. Let me know. You can comment in the comment section. I'm going to get back to you. We can go live on my Instagram, which is what I do, and we can talk about it then. You can blame that on the school system, so you gotta let me know. Nobody really knows that the first slave in America, slave owner in America, was a black man, Anthony Johnson. Anthony Joshua. Anthony Johnson. Look it up.
Much love and peace.
He actually fought in court to own 2 black slaves.